Have you ever wondered why some manifestation techniques seem to work so easily for you and yet others leave you struggling? That is because your Enneagram type plays a huge role in how you can manifest. So in this video, I'm going to break down the best manifestation techniques for each Enneagram, as well as what the most common struggle in manifestation is going to be for your type. Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, and today we're talking about the best manifestation techniques for each Enneagram type and why the Enneagram plays such a huge role in manifestation in the first place. In this video specifically, I'm going to cover what the Enneagram is, why it crosses over and plays such an impactful role with our manifestation, and the strengths and weaknesses of each Enneagram type when it comes to manifestation, and the best manifestation technique for each Enneagram type. So if you feel like you have had a blockage in a manifestation, whether that is money, career success, love, watch this video to find out what may be blocking your manifestation and how to unblock this energy to manifest rapidly. Now, before we dive in, be sure to check out the free Enneagram cheat sheets I've created down below. If you want a quick guide to each Enneagram type, whether you know the Enneagram already or are new to the Enneagram, these cheat sheets cover everything you need to know about the types. And of course, I have my video playlist on this YouTube channel covering the 9 Enneagram types that you can check out and learn more about what the Enneagram is in the first place. I have a video on that. I will put it up here, and I'm giving a really exaggerated movement because I forget to put the video cards in every single time I film. So check that out if you want to learn more about the Enneagram, but I will cover a brief overview of the Enneagram just in a minute. And if you want to help discovering your Enneagram or learning how to use your Enneagram for manifestation and more, be sure to book a reading down below where in 1 hour we dive deep into your unique personality type combination and how you can use this to understand yourself and get the things you want in life. You can learn more down below. So first things first, let's cover what is the Enneagram. The Enneagram is a personality typing system consisting of 9 different Enneagram types. Each Enneagram type has a core fear, core desire, and core belief. Basically, in the end, the Enneagram is built upon the idea that we are programmed early in our childhood. In the first roughly, let's say, 10 to 15 years of our life, we are taught to believe certain things in order to attain security with the world, with our partners, with our parents. And so this creates our personality. And so each of the Enneagram types has a core belief that was instilled in childhood, also known as a childhood wound, that gives them their core desire and their opposing core fear. And this core desire and core fear drives this entire Enneagram's personality traits. So why does the Enneagram cross over with manifestation? When we think about it, if we have a core belief instilled in us that is driving all our actions, and naturally every thought triggers a feeling, we have a set vibration we put out in response to everything we do. And manifestation, in the end, is about the concept that that which is likened to itself is drawn. And so whatever you're thinking and feeling is what you'll attract. And so with that in mind, each Enneagram type having their core belief that creates a core desire that drives everything they do and a core fear that drives everything that they do, it can be harder for them to manifest certain things because they may have fears or beliefs that block them unconsciously from attracting the things they desire. But of course, with that too, each Enneagram type is going to have basically a strength in manifestation that they can already play into. So now let's go in and dive into specifically what each strength and weakness of each Enneagram type is going to be in manifestation, and what the most practical, useful tip and manifestation method is going to be from them to unblock their manifestation. And be sure to check out the timestamps down below to jump to your Enneagram type. So the Enneagram 1 is the perfectionist. Their core belief is I have to be perfect to be loved. Their idea of perfect is going to change based off of their life experience, but overall, most Enneagram 1s tend to be orderly, organized, and somewhat detail-oriented, practical, and a bit of authoritative is the best word I can think of at the moment to describe the type 1. The perfectionist is also known as the reformer. These people are driven by the desire to be perfect out of the fear of not having control or order. And so while this can be an external organization and order that these people are drawn to, such as managing things or organizing their home or proofreading things over and over, or making sure the dishwasher is organized. This can also be more of a moral perfectionism. So these people can oftentimes be drawn towards law or authority or roles of authority where they are imposing or making sure that good is maintained. So these people can be seen in such as law enforcement or working in roles where they are managing things to make sure things are morally correct. The Enneagram 1 can equally, or one more so than the other, focus on perfecting themselves, the world at large, or others. And so with these natural traits in mind, being the perfectionist, the Enneagram 1 has a strength when it comes to manifestation of staying accountable and trying to strive for the perfect win. The Enneagram 1 is likely someone, when it comes to manifestation, to be very clear about what they want because they want perfection. So this is what I exactly want my partner to be like. These are the goals I want to hit. This is the career I want. This is who I want to work with, how I want to work, how long I want to work, what kind of job I want to do, how much I want to get paid, how many bonuses I want to get. The Enneagram 1 is going to have a gift for being very detail-oriented, given that they're striving for perfection. And on top of it, they're going to be very disciplined. So when it comes to the action side of manifestation, when you're trying to act in alignment, these people can be very gifted at doing what they need to do in order to get what they want. So really, the goal-setting side of manifestation comes easily for the Enneagram 1. However, given that their perfectionist nature makes them very clear about what exactly they want, this can also be their weakness, because the perfectionist, being the perfectionist, can find that when it comes to their manifestations, they may not allow themselves to receive it until they are perfect or until life itself, their life, is perfect. Because they strive for perfection and they can be so critical of themselves and the world around them, they may feel as though it is never quite the right time or right place for them to receive what they want. And so the Enneagram 1 is going to struggle the most in manifestation with accepting imperfection, whether that be with themselves or with others, in order to make themselves open energetically to receive what they want. Because basically, where the one struggles the most is feeling like they have to block off and say, now's not the time, because they want to control when it comes, out of fear that they're going to receive it and then lose it because they weren't perfect enough. So given all that information, my number one tip for the Enneagram 1 or manifestation technique that I would recommend for them is focusing on surrender and acceptance. Mantras can be really good for these people because it helps them step into the vibrational alignment, especially with accepting that they are enough. Trust that your efforts are going to be worthwhile, and trust that the universe knows exactly what you desire and it will deliver it to you in divine right timing. And basically that, so to say, the sea will part ways, so that you're not always waiting to fix everything and make sure your life's in order to receive your manifestation, but instead knowing that you're being taken care of and that everything will get taken care of and the sea will part ways, so to say, to bring your desire to you. So mantras can be really helpful, specifically, I believe, from Enneagram 1s, to accept and practice vocalizing that I am enough, I'm ready to receive, I am open to receiving. The Enneagram 2 is the helper. These people have the core desire of wanting to help and serve those they love. They're naturally kind, empathetic, sociable, welcoming, and warm. And so with this, their strength in manifestation is going to be that their strong sense of empathy and love and care for others is going to make them a magnet for attracting good things to them. Because they are so focused on the end on wanting to give to other people, they can manifest rapidly in response to that because they're embracing this sense of love and giving that the universe rewards. However, with this selfless nature that is naturally a gift, it is also a weakness in the sense that the Enneagram 2, from what I've noticed, can be good at manifesting things on behalf of others. So for example, if someone said, I really just want a job promotion, or I really want us to move, they could manifest on behalf of wanting their partner or their friend to feel successful, to get what they want. They can manifest the opportunities that suit both of them. However, the Enneagram 2 may struggle with their selflessness in the sense of trying to embody what it is they truly desire and how good it'll make them feel without necessarily having to benefit others. So this strength and weakness can be very beneficial. These people in the end can manifest what they desire, but when it comes to more selfish desires, these people can struggle because from a young age they were taught to not be selfish, and so for them to embody how it's going to feel to get something they desire, and of course in the first place recognize what it is they want, is going to be very challenging for them. So the number one manifestation tip I give for Enneagram 2s is to spend time writing out what it is they desire and start making small decisions in alignment with what they desire. So I think for Enneagram 2s, this could simply start with when you go to a coffee shop or go to a restaurant, really think about what it is you want to order. Or maybe even before then, really think about where it is you want to eat. Where do you want to go? Practice making small decisions and focusing and honing in on what it is you desire so that you will be able to later and in the present refine what it is you desire outside of what other people want. Because it's very easy for you to get caught up in noticing, well, I just want others to be happy. And yes, this is a good thing, Enneagram 2, but you may feel like then you never are fully getting the full satisfaction of a manifestation because you're always picking based off of what someone else wants. The Enneagram type 3 is the achiever. Their core desire is to achieve because they were taught to be the best at a young age is to be loved. And so these people are success-oriented, goal-driven, ambitious, and oftentimes very well liked because they like to be the best for everyone and appear as the most good human being, so to say. And so they want to make sure that everyone likes them. So they are very image conscious. With this ambitious, driven, disciplined nature of the achiever, they are naturally good when it comes to manifestations, very similar to the type 1 in the sense that they can get clear on what they desire and put all their efforts into it. And I want to stress the effort side because the Enneagram 3 is the type to move mountains. These people, when you know what you want to manifest, you will do anything. You're extremely driven, extremely disciplined. You'll put 110% into everything that you do to make your dreams happen. And also, because you have the idea of success, you're very good at expanding your desire. So it's probably easy for you to go, okay, well, I want to make 10K a month. Now I want to make 100K. Now I want to make $1 million. Being able to expand your desires comes naturally to you. However, given that the Enneagram 3 is the achiever, this can also be their weakness in the sense that what may happen for the Enneagram 3 is while you're so driven to succeed and so goal-oriented, you may lack the surrender side of manifestation because manifestation in the end is an equal amount of giving and receiving. You need to take aligned action, but also soften and allow yourself to receive. And so the Enneagram 3 can sometimes become forceful in their manifestations. You may know exactly what you want. You may be pushing to reach your goals, doing everything in alignment, and yet you feel burnt out because nothing is coming your way. And that's because you aren't allowing yourself the space to just get in vibrational alignment and receive. The Enneagram 3 is a shame type. And so it's very likely that on a deeper level, even though you're putting all this effort in, you feel as if you allow yourself to just receive your desire, that there's something to be ashamed of because you're not working harder. And so for that reason, my number one manifestation tip for Enneagram 3s is to practice surrender, which could simply be doing nothing. I think in the end, the way I'd phrase it is Enneagram 3, imagine you've actually achieved all of your desires. Now, what would you allow yourself to do? It is very likely that an Enneagram 3 will say, well, I would just set another goal and work more, which can be good. But can you bring a more inner softening and relaxation to your being? How can you practice surrender? So for you, this could be allowing yourself to go sit in the hot tub. It could be spending a day in. It could be treating yourself to a massage. It could be meditating. Practicing sitting in stillness and affirming to yourself that you are worthy of receiving your desires now and stepping into a feeling of surrender is going to be the greatest thing for you. The Enneagram 4 is the individualist. They have the strength of knowing the self on such a deep level, and their core desire is to be important in some form or fashion because at a young age, they were taught that they need to be special, unique, or different in some way in order to attain love. And so for some people in modern day society, this usually shows itself as being eccentric, quirky, wearing bucket hats, having a unique sense of style, but this can also play out as simply being more hardworking than other people. It depends on your subtype. So I'm going to put my card up here for my video on the Enneagram 4 subtypes, and you can learn more about those in the different interpretations of the Enneagram 4. But nonetheless, all Enneagram 4s are going to be very emotionally aware of themselves. They have a connection to their emotions unlike any others, and they can be a bit individualistic at times, whether that be the kind of person to leave the party early or to individualistically express their sense of self. The Enneagram 4 feels like they know their demons well, and I think that is the key trait that most Enneagram 4s will relate to. They're very authentic, very expressive, very individualistic. Now, with this gives them the strength and manifestation of really knowing what they want. Very similar to the 3 and the 1, but even more on the emotional side. The Enneagram 4 in the end is driven by their emotions and how they're going to feel about things. Hence why they're the kind to sometimes leave the party early because they're no longer vibing with it. So the Enneagram 4, when it comes to manifestation, can easily tap into how they want to feel. And so they can really master the vibrational side of manifestation in the sense of going, well, I'm not sure whether I want to manifest $1,000 or $2,000, but I know I want to feel wealthy, and they can attract based off of that very, very well. However, the Enneagram 4 has a deadly sin called envy. And that is the fact that the Enneagram 4 in the end feels like because they were taught from a young age that they'll never be quite important enough to others, that they're always lacking something that someone else has. And so this crosses over to their manifestations in the sense that they feel as though no matter what they manifest, they can get pulled into this energy of lack. So they may know how to feel into what it is they desire, and yet at the same time, they can easily get caught into traps of comparison that leave them feeling like they're never going to attain what they want because someone else is always going to have it and there is a lack in the world. And so for that reason, I say the number one tip manifestation-wise for Enneagram 4s is to practice abundance truly. Not even in the sense that, oh, you have everything you want and you are special, but there is an abundance for everyone. There is an abundance for you. There's an abundance for me. And you yourself are enough for these desires. This is similar to the Enneagram 3, given that you guys are both in the shame triad. But for the Enneagram 4 specifically, making sure that they're checking with their emotions is going to be huge. So not only practicing abundance, but making daily check-ins for yourself to check where your emotions are at. Are you comparing yourself? Are you getting envious of others? And why is it you think maybe that you can't have these things? Journaling can be really good for Enneagram 4s to recognize and elaborate on their emotions to let them go, because there's a lot that doesn't get noticed because of how many emotions you're feeling all the time. So journaling can really help you work those out. If you are an Enneagram 5, you are the investigator. You're naturally analytical, cerebral, intellectual, organized in your own way, and logical. Your core desire is to have resources and knowledge because you are raised to believe that there is a scarcity in the world and that you must be capable. And the way to be capable is by having the data and the knowledge and the capability. And so with that in mind, the Enneagram 5 has a strength in their manifestations for research and going about achieving their manifestations in very practical ways. These are the people who probably follow all the steps of the law of attraction. They write down what they want. They get specific. They get in alignment. You guys are very good at acquiring information about your desires to get specific about what you want, and also to just simply know what is needed in order to emotionally embrace that and what's not, so to say. So you're really good at refining and doing basically, so to say, the bare minimum from a place of knowledge and data in order to manifest your desires. And you can be really good about staying in your own lane and not letting other people distract you on your manifestations. You don't necessarily get the peer pressure thing in order to manifest what you want. But given that the Enneagram 5 is so analytical and focused on acquiring and maintaining their resources, this can also be their weakness in the sense that what the Enneagram 5 may struggle with when it comes to manifestation is taking aligned action. So the positive side is the Enneagram 5 probably researches everything they need to know, maybe if they want to manifest a trip to Hawaii, and they have all the information, but then when it comes time to actually, take vibrational aligned action, and maybe research trips or book a trip or to ask people about Hawaii, they can be a bit stagnant in that. And so the Enneagram 5 in the end will struggle the most with taking aligned action on their manifested desires out of fear that they're going to lose their resources. And so for that reason, my number one tip for the Enneagram 5 is to practice taking massive imperfect action toward your desire from a place of joy. This is not necessarily saying that you should throw all your money from your bank account on a trip if that's what you're trying to manifest, but start taking small, maybe imperfect steps towards your desires to tell the universe and say, hey, I am ready. See, I'm taking action. I'm so ready to receive this. In the end, this is getting out of the energy of scarcity and stepping into the energy of abundance, as this is your core struggle as an Enneagram 5. The Enneagram 6 is the loyalist. You have the core desire of loyalty and security because you're taught to believe that the world is a dangerous place that will betray you from an early age. You're loyal, practical, grounded, stable, and sometimes a bit anxious and cautious. But overall, the core traits of the loyalist is your loyalty. People can see your loyalty from a mile away. You are protective. You are ready to support those you care about, and you're ready to protect what you need to in order to protect yourself. And so the Enneagram 6, with this prepared nature to them, oftentimes is very good about being prepared with their manifestations. And they can become very enthusiastic, from what I've noticed, about their manifestations, getting in vibrational alignment, knowing what they want, knowing what they desire, getting all the pieces of the puzzle in place. So both the energetic and the physical end. But given that the loyalist struggles the most with fear, what ends up happening for the loyalist, as I've noticed, is they get everything right and then self-doubt hits them, or fear, and then they take 10 steps back. And so basically, the Enneagram 6 has it nailed in their manifestation until their self-doubt hits, and then they tell themselves, no, this is all wrong. I must be doing something wrong. Maybe I don't deserve this. Maybe I'm going to mess up. Maybe something's going to happen. Maybe I don't want this. And so then they reverse the energy and basically keep telling the universe red lights and green lights, saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, out of fear of losing something that gives them a sense of security. And so for that reason, my number one tip for the Enneagram 6 is to catch their self-doubt and breathe through it simply. Maybe keep a daily timer that goes off once every hour to check in with their fear and say, hey, is my fear or my worry getting in the way? Am I projecting the worst case scenarios rather than the best case scenarios about my manifestation? How can I breathe, pause, and focus on the best case scenario? The Enneagram 7 is the enthusiast. And so with that in mind, these people their core trait is their enthusiasm. The Enneagram 7 is the life of the party, the friend everyone knows, the social butterfly, the person who's always bringing the fun, always cracking a joke, whose core desire is to have fun and bring positivity. And with that, their core fear is that if they are not positive, then they will be alone. They have to be positive in order to be loved. And so these people can oftentimes struggle with negativity. But on the positive side, the Enneagram 7 is full of enthusiasm, full of adventure, very optimistic, which serves them in manifestation. The Enneagram 7 has a gift in manifestation, in rapid manifestation, truly. I believe that it is very likely that Enneagram 7s have no trouble manifesting what they want. And hear me out here, because there's going to be a but to that in a minute. But the Enneagram 7 can easily identify, just what sounds fun and hold a light, detached energy from it, because they have so many desires going out at once that they can bring anything to them because they hold no attachment to any of them, as they're always looking for the next fun thing. However, with that, when it comes to actually focusing on bigger desires, maybe such as a new career path, what can happen for the Enneagram 7, as they're constantly bouncing between ideas on what they want to manifest, they can maybe lack the follow through. And so what can end up happening is that they maybe get the desires manifested to them rapidly. And let's say they're looking for a new job and they're meet someone on a ski lift who actually has a job opening. They can get so distracted by another desire that they have, maybe, which could be, oh, well, I have a desire for fun and I hear that there's a party down on the slopes, that they're too distracted to notice the opportunity in front of them. And so for that reason, my number one tip for the Enneagram 7 for manifestation is to practice slowing down and following through. This could simply be finishing a conversation. This could be pausing and saying, what do I want to do with this? But simply just opening your eyes a little more to what is happening around you and knowing that all your desires will be fulfilled. Because really, in the end, this scatteredness comes from a fear of not getting all your opportunities fulfilled or not getting all your desires fulfilled. When really, 7s, you are manifesting everything you could possibly want all the time. All you have to do is slow down just a little bit to notice that it's right there under your nose. The Enneagram 8 is the challenger, and they are known for their assertive, confident, bold, and somewhat aggressive nature. The Enneagram 8's core desire is challenge and intensity, and this is built upon the core belief or fear in childhood that they must be in control and be strong in order to be secure or safe or to attain love, simply. Really, more so at a young age, the Enneagram 8 was taught that they are already going to be standing alone, and so they need to be strong and tough in order to make it through life. And so with that, the Enneagram 8, as I said, is very confident, very assertive, very much the challenger, the intense person, the boss, the leader. And so these people, when it comes to manifestation, have a gift for getting things done. Very similar to the 1 and the 3. These people know how to get things done and take aligned action in order to make their dreams happen. So really, the Enneagram 8 can get anything they want, whether that's more so through force or through energetic alignment. But what I notice happens for Enneagram 8s, and from what I've heard, what your common struggle may be, is it can feel like you're always just about to reach your desire and it seems to slip out of your hands. And that is because maybe as a challenger, you are so used to being strong that you don't allow yourself to get into the receiving mode to receive your desire. Hence why it always slips away. The Enneagram 8, as wanting to be so strong, can oftentimes struggle with allowing themselves to soften, whether that's soften their tone to others or soften their own inner voice and allow themselves to receive. And so the Enneagram 8 is always getting 99% of the way there on their manifestations, but they can't get that last 1% because they don't allow themselves to soften and say, okay, I can receive now. I can take a break. I can just allow myself to feel this sense of love and receptivity. And so for that reason, my number 1 tip for Enneagram 8s in order to manifest is to soften and receive. How can you allow yourself to practice receiving? Whether that is just noticing that maybe when the barista hands you your coffee, you can say, I'm receiving a coffee right now, even though technically you paid for it. Or maybe you can allow yourself to watch a sunset and say, I'm receiving this beautiful sunset. Or take that a step further. Book yourself a massage and say, allow yourself to receive a massage. Whatever it takes to get you to soften and get used to allowing yourself to receive. And especially when it comes to the big things, maybe you can step into this now with your manifestations, whether you're trying to manifest a new partner or a career path or even more money. Ask yourself as you're manifesting it, what will it feel like to receive this? What would it feel like to soften and receive this? The Enneagram 9 is the peacemaker, or as I like to call them personally, the chameleon, because really it seems like there's 2 types of Enneagram 9s in the world, and I'm going to cover both for manifestation because there really is 2 completely different stories for these. Regardless, if you're an Enneagram 9, you're peaceful and easygoing. You like to be liked by everyone else, or you like to make people feel accepted. Hence why you're kind of a chameleon and shift based off of who you are with. Regardless, you're friendly, you're welcoming, you don't put pressure on anyone. You're very much a go with the flow kind of person and don't hold attachment to very much. You can oftentimes struggle with indecision and seeing perspectives, every point of view. And so even as you're hearing this, you can probably go, yeah, that sounds like me. But if you listen to any of the Enneagram types before, you probably would have gone, yeah, that's probably me too. So the Enneagram 9 is meant to be the perfect middle point. They are very much a diplomat in the sense that they don't want to take any sides too extremely unless they have to. In the end, the Enneagram 9 is very what I would like to call susceptible, in the sense that this serves them in their manifestation that they can really just take on any point of view and any vibration and manifest what they want. The energetic side of manifestation comes a little bit easier for them in the sense that they can just feel into what it would be like to shift into that role like a chameleon, so to say, and just own that desire. And so these people can experience really rapid manifestations, especially with little things, similar to the 7, in the sense that they don't hold attachment to much. So when it comes to things that are just neutral, they can manifest them very rapidly, like a free coffee or to run into someone who they haven't seen in a while. However, there are 2 major struggles that I've noticed Enneagram 9s experience. And I think this really is dependent on your Enneagram subtype. And I have a video covering the Enneagram 9 subtypes that you can check out here. So if you're option 1 of the Enneagram 9, Enneagram 9s as the peacemaker oftentimes are said to struggle with laziness. That is their core struggle. And so what the Enneagram 9 may struggle with in option 1 is similar to the 5 in that they may struggle to take aligned action towards their desires, given that it may be hard for them to know exactly what they want, as they're always trying to just pick whatever everyone else wants in order to maintain peace. And so taking aligned action would be hard. And for that reason, my number 1 tip for these people in option 1 would be to take aligned action for what they want and make decisions based off of their desires. Option 2 still ties into the same core wound of conflict and fear of conflict, but it has a different expression, the hyperactive expression from my personal experience. Because the Enneagram 9 wants to shift and morph to whatever they are surrounded by, these people oftentimes can be very hyperactive. They're the last person to be seen as lazy. They're trying to do any and everything for everyone, including themselves, and be completely independent. But because of that, they never seem to be really focused on what it is they truly want. And so they can be spreading themselves way too thin because it is, in truth, that they don't want to focus on one true thing out of fear that pursuing their desire will lead to conflict, whether that's conflict with themselves or conflict with other people. And so in the end, both Enneagram 9s struggle with knowing exactly what it is that they desire and taking aligned action with that, whether that be they take no action at all or they take a little bit of every action possible. And so in the end, my tip for both of these Enneagram 9s is to take aligned action. Maybe start by waking up each day and going, what is the most aligned action I can take towards my desire? And what is it I want truly in the first place? And recognizing any fears, maybe even journaling them, that come up with pursuing that desire. Are you afraid that you're going to make time for your desire and that you're going to lose something else? So that is a quick overview of what the main blockage and strength of each Enneagram type is when it comes to manifestation. So how can you actually apply these insights? Because this can be a lot of information that we don't know exactly what to do with. In the end, I recommend to all 9 types, get out a pen and paper and write out, what is my core fear? And how does this show up in my day-to-day life? And what is my core desire? And what seems to be blocking it? Maybe just writing down and reiterating each video, each section that I talked about for your Enneagram type, and seeing how this shows up in your day-to-day life. Noticing when the core fear gets triggered. What triggers it? Is it when you're in line for a coffee shop? Do you feel scarcity of time? Is it when you check your bank account? Do you feel like you're unworthy of wealth? Is it when you are working? Are you telling yourself you're never going to be doing enough? Checking and observing when your core fear gets triggered is key. And of course, spending time in stereotypically meditation to work on working through those beliefs and picking one actionable step on how you can go against the core fear. So what would an abundant version of your Enneagram type do? Would it spend more money? Would it be more loving? Would it give more compliments? Would it relax more? Write down one action you can take this week and come up with an affirmation that affirms the positive side of what you want to manifest, that incorporates my key point that I made for your Enneagram type. So if I told you you're a 3 and you need to surrender, include I surrender. If it's an Enneagram 8 and I mentioned you need to soften, add I soften to your mantra. So hopefully this video helped you understand how your manifestation may be blocked based off your Enneagram type. Let me know in the comments below, what is your Enneagram? What have you been struggling with your manifestation? Did this video help you? And what, of course, did I miss? Because really, I could make these each their own video. There's so much to go into each Enneagram type and how it really ties in to our manifestation. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more videos breaking down the Enneagram and more. If you have specific questions about this video, or if there's other Enneagram related videos you want to see, or manifestation videos, let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to film about that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name's Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.